Elizabeth Warren tries to make nice. Oh, it's that wonderful. It's bipartisanship. She's reaching out. Yep, she had a piece in the Wall Street Journal today. If Trump wants to unrig the economy, I'm in. She says, I will lead Democrats on the banking committee to lower costs, advance security, and cut red tape. Bullshit. Bullshit. There was a Chris Rock stand-up episode where he was talking about, if you remember the tiger tamers from Vegas, Siegfried and Roy. You remember one of them, I can't remember which one, got attacked by one of their tigers. And he made the comment in his stand-up routine that, everybody's saying, oh, my God, look at the tiger went crazy. Oh, my God, the tiger went crazy. And Chris Rock's like, no, that tiger didn't go crazy. That tiger went tiger. That's what tigers do. You think you're going to tame a ultra far left communist, communist, fascist, whatever you want to call her. Okay. Look, the same thing. Communism, fascism, it's same thing. It's what's the difference between the Bloods and the Crips? They're both gangs. Anyway, I don't believe a word she's saying, but we're going to go through her piece today. Okay. We're going to have fun with this. And she talks about the mission of Democrats on the Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee is to deliver what Americans have asked for in election after election, unrigging the economy to make life more affordable for working families. Right. Unrigging the economy. You're making it more affordable for American families with all your bullshit green initiatives and forcing them to buy more expensive appliances and making permitting more expensive. I go on down the list. But anyway, she says she's ready to work with Chairman Tim Scott, Donald Trump, and business leaders whenever they support policies that rebuild the middle class, advance our economic and national security, and fight the corruption of those who seek to use government to enrich themselves. Again, she has her own, I don't think there's ever been a senator in history. She has her own agency, that Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is completely unconstitutional, that does nothing that make life more difficult on everyone. But anyway, she says first we must lower costs and improve access to financial services. Lower costs and improve access to financial services. Since when did it get expensive to open up a bank account? Lower costs, improve. Is it difficult? No, I quite frankly, I think it's easier than ever. Easier and less costly than ever to get yourself a bank account. But then she brings up housing. Okay, again, she's just, what does one have to do with the other? Last year, housing costs reached the highest level in decades. Well, Elizabeth, they went up for a myriad of reasons. One of the reasons is that all of the bull excrement government spending that you Democrats pushed forward lit a fire as far as inflation was concerned, eventually driving up mortgage costs. But she says conservatives who believe that there is a supply problem are right. Of course there is a supply problem. Why is there a supply problem? Well, red tape. Red tape, the cost of building homes. It's not easy to do. Liberals who believe price fixing and corporate landlords are culprits are also right. Yep, that's it. That's it. It's price fixing and corporate landlords. Is there an issue in certain areas where people have bought up, certain communities bought up multiple homes, BlackRock private equity? Yeah. Okay. But again, the simple solution to that is what? It's just more housing, greater supply. She says that her committee should pursue serious federal investment to create incentives for home construction, establish partnerships with local communities to cut red tape, and take on Wall Street landlords that are squeezing families out of local markets. Federal investment? No. Elizabeth, what you need to do is get the hell out of the way. Okay? Get out of the way. Listen to John Galt from Ayn Rand. Get out of the way. The Federal Reserve, after driving mortgage rates to their highest levels since 2008, no. The Federal Reserve didn't do that. The Federal Reserve actually, they kept rates down way too long because of pressure brought to bear by you folks in Washington, D.C. Oh, inflation is transitory. Well, she is saying that they should cut rates further. Hey, Elizabeth, you're on the frickin' banking committee, okay? You're on the frickin' banking committee. The Federal Reserve has cut rates by 100 basis points just over the past few months for the first time ever. Interest rates went in the opposite direction by over 100 basis points. She says the Trump administration can help by transferring or selling unused federal property to local actors to increase supply. We should avoid anything that risks raising housing prices, such as privatizing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac in a way that rewards Wall Street while inflating the cost of borrowing. That's BS. Fannie and Freddie is another great place where politicians and members of politicians' families can get no-show jobs. Oh, yeah. You remember that story I did here on the program? It was Bonnie Flake. Someone thought that. Bonnie Flake. Bonnie Flake and his gay lover. He got his gay lover a job over at Fannie Mae, making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah. We covered that here on the program. Remember Franklin Raines, their buddies with Maxine Waters, drove that thing into the ground during the financial crisis. Fannie, there's no need for Fannie. There's no need for Freddie. Shut them down. Okay, we should continue. She says, President Biden's popular fights against junk fees, corporate consolidation, and price gouging. What? Junk fees. Yeah, like, I don't know, charging people a fee. I mean, I'm sorry. If you bounce a check, there should be no repercussions for that at all. I mean, certain banks have certain ways where they cover it for a period of time. Again, I don't like ridiculous fees either, but again, you can go out there and you can search for a bank that's going to do the right thing by you. Corporate consolidation. I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about those efforts by Lena Khan that failed here, there, and everywhere. Why don't you stay out of that business? A lot of mergers don't work out. Let the free market decide. Price gouging, another one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of in my entire life. Yeah. The companies are getting together and they're price gouging. Yep. Again, here's one where I disagreed with Donald Trump. She says, Mr. Trump won up Democrats by proposing to cap credit card rates at 10%. I'll work with Republicans to make it happen. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because the public will have a collective freakout. Okay. Public will have a collective freakout when all of a sudden their credit cards are getting canceled here, there, and everywhere. The reason why a credit card company charges 20+% on these rates is because it's a non-recourse loan. Again, this is someone that's on, one of the top person on the Senate Banking Committee that doesn't understand risk and pricing risk. This is dangerous. She's dangerously stupid. Okay, and again, is she really stupid or is this biased? I don't know. If a bank out there could put out a credit card, put out a credit card, and it would basically take the business of every other credit card company out there. Every credit card company out there, they said, listen, we're going to have 10% interest rates. Everybody else is 20+%. Who wouldn't do it? It's not sustainable unless you're only dealing with people that are super high credit, pay their bills every single month. Anyway, if the president-elect is serious about protecting consumers, he should support the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's work to lower costs. The CFPB needs to be shut down. It's unconstitutional. She said that the Bureau has returned more than $20 billion to customers who were cheated by credit card companies and financial institutions. Yeah, whatever. You believe that? Do you believe that? No. I watch this stuff, and this is money that's not returned to customers. These are fines, more often than not, arbitrary, that these big companies pay because the government, again, acts like Don Fanucci in Godfather 2. They need to wet their beak. You know what? We'll settle. We'll settle to shut these people in Washington, D.C. up. We must advance economic and national security. Our committee has key responsibilities over export control, sanctions, trade policy, corporate transparency, domestic supply chains, and other levers to support our economic security at home and promote our values abroad. I'll support the Trump administration if he uses these tools responsibly. That includes helping American industry grow and preventing terrorists from exploiting our financial system. Not doing favors for corporate lobbyists or countries that don't share our values. Oh, give me a break. Stop, Liz, come on, go sell stupid somewhere else. Go sell crazy somewhere else. All stocked up over here. Okay. Give me a break. We must ensure that our financial system serves families and the real economy. The real economy, as opposed to the fake economy? I don't know what she means by that. Community lenders must provide the majority of loans to the small businesses that power our economy. Well, why do you think we don't have many small banks and community lenders out there? You do know that we lost over 300 banks during the financial crisis and the after effects, and many of those banks, quite frankly, were shut down because they couldn't afford to deal with the regulatory costs. You made this happen. You made this happen. Oh, these small lenders are getting swallowed up by the too big to fail banks. You did that. Your regulations allow for too big to fail. Go again, get the BS coming out of your mouth. This consolidation stifles competition and access to credit. Meanwhile, private equity raiders continue to hollow out businesses and communities by buying up everything from grocery stores to hospitals, again, killing competition. She's not wrong there. But you did it. You did. We go all the way back. All the way back. You guys, both Democrats and Republicans, repealed Glass-Steagall. Had the whole .com crap up, the Enron, all that stuff. Oh, what do we get? What do we get? Another ridiculous piece of legislation that messed with Wall Street. Sarbanes-Oxley. What do we get after that? Dodd-Frank. I mean, one piece of garbage legislation after another. The reason why too big to fail exists is because of you and your ilk. Republicans, too. It's regulations. Risk is building in the system. Too big to fail banks are quietly taking on riskier investments. The shadowy private credit market has loaded up on highly leveraged loans. After waves of catastrophic losses, the insurance industry faces a reckoning that even climate change deniers can't ignore. Oh, yeah, right, sure. Oh, my God. Again, she's got other policies here. The Recoup Act, which reduces incentives for risk-taking by clawing back compensation from bank executives who got big paychecks while their banks failed. Holding bank regulators accountable with their solution of bank failures. Yeah, right. Yeah, you guys cut deals. Silicon Valley Bank. Hey, there's some big donors There, you got to take care of that. Other banks fail, not so much. Again, here she goes. Where again, remember, that tiger didn't go crazy. That tiger went tiger. She says, yes, we should simplify financial regulations. Republicans are right that regulatory complexity can drive up costs and hurt smaller companies that don't have armies of lobbyists. Simpler structure rules, such as Glass-Steagall, would eliminate a mountain of paperwork and end the need for regulators to intrude into businesses. Clearer rules would create more transparency and give Americans across the country simpler access to public markets. Again, if you believe, you believe that Elizabeth Warren wants to go back to Glass-Steagall, I'm sorry. Again, regulations, whether it be the regulatory code, whether it be, the crap that the acronym agencies are throwing out, whether it be the tax code, all of the burdens that are put on we, the taxpayers here in this country, is what gives individuals like Elizabeth Warren and her ilk power, the ability to create complicated loopholes, carve-outs, and giveaways to people who cut a check. If you haven't figured that out yet, and if you haven't figured out that, again, both sides play this game, something's wrong with you. Call it regulatory caps. There's a myriad of different things you can call it. I just like to call it the watchdog on Wall Street, axis of evil. Big business, politicians, and the media working hand in hand to further their own needs. WatchdogOnWallStreet.com.